And then the lover, sighing like a furnace, with a woeful ballad, made this to his mistress' eyebrow. Part of me was surprised when he turned up. Part of me thought maybe I should have expected it. He was a master of time travel, after all. He could arrive and depart in my life whenever he wished, as he so often had before. Star Swirl? Hello there, Celestia. He had the same wrinkles he did when I was a child, though not as deep. I wondered when he was speaking to me from. Would you like me to send down for some tea? His bells jingled when he turned his head, looking this way and around my chambers. You're taking my sudden appearance in your bedroom rather better than I might have thought. You're far from the most unusual thing that has happened around here lately. I am? I almost laughed at his offended tone. This morning I was summoned to fix a spell of one of the students had cast accidentally turned the entire classroom into custard and opened it to a rift of dimension of stented frog creatures. Star Swirl blinked at me. Ah, I see. And to answer your question, some tea would be nice. I yanked the appropriate bell pull, abandoned my paperwork, and settled down low on the table in the center of my room. Star Swirl arranged his robes neatly around his hooves and studied me. You've changed your mane and tail. Is this the furthest forward in time you have traveled so far? It took slightly a bit longer than a moment for him to reply. No. I know better than to ask you what you've seen or what will happen. He lowered his eyes. It seems you're not the only appearance has changed. You've grown to yourself, Celestia. Excuse me? You exclude more wisdom than you did when I last saw you. More princessy air. I barked a laugh. You mean I've grown up? If you want to boil down to the most basic terms, if he had possessed feathers, he would have ruffled them. Then yes, you will seem more grown up than when we last spoke. And yet, that didn't stop you from warming my bed back then. I stared practically interesting whirl in the table's woodwork, or leaving it cold when you disappeared one morning and never came back. Some wounds hurt no matter how old you get, or I get. Star Swirl at least had the decency to sound embarrassed. You know I can't tell you why. Just like any other time, I sighed. Sometimes I wonder why I put up with you. A maid arrived carrying a tea tray in her Aurora. If she were surprised to find me with an angling stallion in the chambers. She was a professional enough not to let it show on her face. The tray aligned defiantly with the vague whoosh, and her magic evaporated. Will that be all, Your Majesty? Yes, thank you truly. She nodded and withdrew. Star Swirl watched her go. Barely more than a child, I heard him murmur. She's 26, I replied, as I levitated the milk into the air, adding it to my own teacup but not to his. I remembered that he always preferred milk added last. Such a strange thing to detain more than a century between visits, but it stuck in my mind like a practically determined hook. I was a year younger than her when you first found me. You were? He frowned. A very old version of you. I allowed myself a small smile. I didn't understand you at all back then. All that talk of destiny and fate, I thought you were some old codger who always drunk too much and arrowroot mead. It's merely possible I shall be someday. His horn lit up, and he plucked 2 raised teaspoons of sugar into his cup. Although the thought does fill me with some trepidation. I was astonished when I saw you next, as young as I was, but still recognizably you. I thought maybe I'd meet your grandfather that first time. Star Swirl watched, as I poured his first cup and then my own. Time travel is a confusing business. Not something you need to tell me. I regard him pensively, looking for that smooth-faced stallion I had met so long ago. I am an immortal. Star Swirl isn't, was not, will not be. Ugh. Time travel is certainly yet confusing, yet every time I saw him, he seemed too much older and wiser than I could ever be in my eternity. We had learned together, studied this side by side so long ago, When life was simpler and acknowledgeable, all that mattered. Yet, as always the case with longevity, eventually he had to just leave my side, just as duty called me. Inexorable pull time dragged Star Swirl back into its embrace. He was my lover of old, but I knew I could never capture his heart in the way he had. Will Luna come back in to save me in the future? I asked. Despite myself, I hadn't seen Star Swirl since her banishment and had fought myself over whether I should ask the question if I ever were to see him again. Star Swirl paused, blowing the steam off his tea. You know I can't answer that, Celestia. I can't disrupt the timeline. That's not what you said when I first met him. He frowned, though whether at my temerity or himself I could be not sure. I'm not sure why I would jeopardize things so much. I was specific or vague? Vague. I have to admit, you said you had a great destiny ahead of me and would be putting me through many trials, but that many ponies would rely on me to look after and nurture them. I smiled sadly. I thought you meant I was destined to be a mother of many foals someday. Oh dear, he winced. Celestia, I apologize for what I said. We'll say. I nodded and sipped my own tea. I reconciled myself to it a long time ago. All the ponies of Equestria are my foals now. He seemed to congratulate for a moment. I will say that you shall be happy again someday, in the way you were in the past, if not more so. I looked up sharply. What does that mean? He shook his head. To give you many more details than that could be foolish on my part. But, please, Celestia, don't ask me any more than that. He levitated the teaspoon and stirred his tea rhythmically far longer than necessary. I did not ask for a talk of the future. Oh, then why are you here? I should have thought of rationing out of your life to different time periods meant you couldn't waste it on any non-essential visits. He continued to stir his tea. To be truthful, I missed you. I nearly dropped my teacup. Excuse me? I've seen things, Celestia. Things a mortal pony should never see. Things I cannot unsee. Sometimes it weighs on me. Those are the times I think of you. My happiest times have all been when I visit you. His smile was tiny and tragic and so genuine that it actually hurt to look at. I have often thought that had my life had been different, well, had both of us our lives been different, I might have loved you, been in love with you. I mean, maybe I tried out that marriage and foals thing. My heart lurched. That thought had crossed my mind time or two as well, I admitted. I am sorry. That was a churlish thing to say, since of my own morality has made my tongue too loose. He finally looked up at me. I suddenly wished I was 25 again and I could vault the table and hug him like the pony who didn't have a care in the world except making her friend feel better. I saw my own death, he said softly. I made a mistake and landed on a time before I should have. Witnessed the whole thing. His voice was actually trembled. No pony should know something like that. I choke on my own gasp. You're right. I couldn't think of anywhere else to go here from there except here. To you, rather silly of me, really. I don't think so. Friendship is a powerful thing. Yes, I suppose it is. You have told me so much before, I suppose. How silly that it's only at times like this that I begin to believe you. He sighed as if letting out a breath he had been holding for a millennium. Maybe he had. I had wondered what he had seen, yet did not even consider asking. Are those custard creams? Your favorite, I chuckled, sending the plate over to him. I developed a taste for them myself. I did always have an excellent taste. His eyes flashed, in biscuits and mares. I felt my cheeks burn. Only he had been able to make me blush like that. I missed you too, Star Swirl. We ate our biscuits and drank our tea, chatting inaudibly. He gave me a teaching device and pursued this curriculum that I have been writing up for my school, which had been proven harder to Coral than I initially thought. 10 years of teaching, and I still found new things to take into consideration for my students each and every day. I told them stories of Earth Pony Philly who could mize potions, even stronger than unicorn tutors and the Pegasus cult, who had graduated and gone to found a new farm that grew the best carrots I have ever tasted. To my own embarrassment, I blossomed with pride in Star Swirl's praise for what I have accomplished with the school. Sunset drew near, and I stepped out onto the balcony to lower the sun, somehow knowing that I went back inside and he would be gone. Until next time, Star Swirl, I whispered to the dissipating magical haze, whatever that may be.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.